only allowed to say one or two, huh? Wow. They're all so well written. Well, of the men, because that's what we all have to talk about which one we date first. Obviously, Colonel Brandon, really good taste, but the Rick, the Alan Rickman one. Yeah. Well, Captain Wentworth has got to be my favorite of the men. And like, oh my God! And the Amanda Root, how do you say it? Sharon Hines. Yeah, that's the one that I'll run away with. You know, when my husband who's taking the pictures isn't looking. But one of my favorite characters, I think, is one that everybody goes, "What? What is wrong with you?" Mrs. Bennet. We look at her and we see this, this selfish hypochondriac who does terrible things. If that woman was alive today, she would run the world. She is very perceptive about human nature. She's ruthless. She has, how did she manage to bag Mr. Bennet? That took a lot of brains and a lot of cunning, and if she had any more opportunities in her life other than raising daughters and grooming them to marry rich men, that was the only option she has in her life. What would this character have done had she any other avenue of opportunity? She's formidable and scares me. And I think that is one thing that, yes, like I said, people always say, Mrs. Bennet, are you out of your mind? Yeah, I am out of my mind, Mrs. Bennet.
Okay, Northanger Abbey is my favorite book. I started with Pride and Prejudice, Emma, and all those. And I love them, but I'm also always like, okay, I'm in the outside looking in. I would never have this life. These are not me. Northanger Abbey, she's like a little goth girl in the Regency period, okay? She loves horror. She's reading it, but she's also kind of scared of it. And she's just looking for someone to understand her, and Tilney gets it. I mean, the guy for Tilney. If the guy can make you laugh and also, be in your, whatever you're obsessed with, that's so awesome. I mean, so great. And one of the weird things is, this was her first book, and I went back to my first book when I was 13. And in big, scrawly pencil, 86 pages of, this book. And my book has this girl who has these wild ideas, and she's going to save them from a plane jacking, and the terrorists are after them, and she saves everything. She's 13, yeah, right. But looking back at that, I'm like, that is Jane's first book. That was her. She was a reader, she was into all this stuff, and she imagined these wild things happening, and at the end it's like, oh, I grew up, I still like this stuff, but I have a little bit more sense about what's actually happening in the world, so I love her. Cat.